News, this guy walked in the woods for about 10 minutes, maybe 20, and you got about, I don't know, 30 friggin' ticks on him, man. What's with the ticks? Because this is the crazy part. They say that Canada is going to have a tick explosion this summer, and it's caused by warm weather. But this was the coldest winter we've had in like a long time. So I'm not buying that story. Is something being dropped from the sky involving boxes with little creatures in them that have a thing in them to make you allergic to meat because they want to change the food supply? I know it's a shocking rabbit hole. All I know is this: we got to be of sound mind and sound body because the crazy stuff that's coming around the corner is only going to get stranger. And I think it's more important than ever before to be detoxing the crazy chemicals and contaminants that we've been exposed to. And if you think that's important, right now Chalk is giving away free $100 bags of organic.
Okay.
If these ticks bite you during the summer, you are cooked. Tick bites are sending Americans to the ER at the highest rate in nearly a decade. And it's to the point where people are avoiding nature because of this bullshit. And it sucks because unfortunately, I have the same taste in scenery as a tick. So please do everything and anything you can to tick-proof you and your home and your skin and your clothing now. With the Lyme disease vaccine coming out next year, I fear that our government is going to release plague-like levels of ticks upon us in efforts to incentivize the masses into getting another vaccine. Lyme disease takes about 24 hours to transmit once a tick bites. Could be less for some people. So please be vigilant and check after being outdoors. Check everywhere, especially men. Eating a raw clove of garlic daily can be used as effective repellent to make ticks not even want to bite you because of the scent of your blood, which makes sense as the active compound in raw garlic has strong pathogenic properties. You don't want Lyme, and you certainly don't want alpha gel. They are carefully crafted bioweapons made by our own government, by the way. Thank you, Bill Gates. Lyme can range from aches in some people to full-blown medical episodes and other symptoms. So this right here is a homemade tick repellent. A quarter cup witch hazel or vodka, tablespoon of aloe vera, a half tablespoon of glycerin, 10 to 20 drops of each oil, eucalyptus, peppermint, lemongrass, cedarwood, rose, geranium, olive, and lavender oil. These are the oils that ticks hate. Add the first 3 and shake. Add the oils and shake. Add a half cup of distilled water. Shake to mix and store in glass spray bottle. The steps are very important and so are the ingredients. Do not miss any oils. If it's going on dogs or cats, leave off the peppermint because their skin is very sensitive to it and it's not worth the risk of a bad breakout or literally some other health problem. Oh yeah, and keep your blood alcohol content above 0.1 and it will kill anything that tries to bite you. Hope this helps.
Okay. We gotta normalize this now. Let's normalize this. The government wants us docile and sick. We gotta stop pretending that, we really gotta stop pretending that we living in a fairy tale world or fairy tale land. How can I put this? The world is Satan's play place. Get into your scriptures, read up on it. The world is Satan's play place. At every corner, whether they spray in the sky, whether they GMO foods, whether they lab-grown meat, whether they're jabbing you up with stuff. You know, the synthetic drugs that they supply when it's natural cures for everything. Natural cures for everything. Now we down to the fact that it's just like what they putting in the water. Test your water and you'll see if you be shocked what's in there. Everything that you think of is in there. This is actively a war we're living in on to be healthy. We gotta normalize being healthy. Fasting, praying. This is why this is a big thing in the Bible, fasting and praying. We're in an active war, people. Now it's the ticks. They're unleashing ticks on us that apparently they normally hang off trees and stuff like that. They normally hang off trees and stuff like that and grass and they just attach themselves to a host that walk past. These new ones are like looking kind of like bioengineered to freaking come after you. They're literally chasing down people. I'm gonna show you some videos where they're chasing down people. They're hunting now. These aren't, that's not how they normally would act. You know, we have to come to the realization that this is what it is. At every turn, they are descending up on us with weaponry of sorts, you know, and they're using our foods and they're spraying the skies up, and it's just like at every turn. And if you don't see this, if you don't acknowledge this, it's crazy. You gotta pay attention. Let me go to another one.
Here, what should we do in the immediate aftermath of a tick bite? So, Stephen Buhner,
this is some aftermath stuff. I'm trying to see what are these things?
If you live in these parts of the country, which is practically half of the US, you should start taping up your legs like this guy every time you go outside. There's this tiny little bug called the Lone Star tick causing massive problems. A single bite from this guy reprograms your entire immune system, causing alpha-gal syndrome, which makes you allergic to red meat, and it can be life-threatening.
Makes you allergic to red meat. Now, this comes at a time where they're pushing lab-grown meat. They're telling us it's too many cows on Earth. Not the cars, not the forest fires, not the freaking airplanes, but cow. They say cow farts. It's what's going on. Cow farts, because we're consuming too much meat. So, they're trying to get us off the meat and on to the lab grown stuff. They're trying to introduce this. They want us eating bugs for real, for real. This guy Bill Gates it's insane. It's insane. This dude was a computer guy, but he's buying up all the farms. He's into all of the foods. You'd be shocked. Look into how many farms this guy owns. And he wants everything GMO, no natural stuff, seedless things that's no nourishment to the body. You have to understand that the devil is out here seeking who he may devour like a roaring lion. It's scripture, man. So what do we do about it? Let me see if this guy get into some of it.
Now, what's crazy to me is that these ticks have apparently been around for over 200 years, but there was no recorded cases of alpha-gal syndrome until just about 20 years ago, and now we're seeing a 100-fold increase in cases. The official explanation is that these ticks are spreading because of climate shifts and growing deer populations, but I find it awfully ironic that the same people pushing the global warming agenda while simultaneously...
There we go. The man of the hour. The man of the hour, man. This guy is diabolical. I never wished bad on people, but this guy need to get what he got coming to him. This guy's clinically insane. You know, his teachers in school were telling people this guy's a psychopath, like, you know, but they say things like, oh, geniuses are kind of crazy, they kind of psycho. This guy's not a genius, this guy's evil. But anyway, this guy is onto something, alpha-gal syndrome or whatnot. Apparently it makes you allergic to meat. So we got some farmers, I'm gonna get into some of those videos. Some farmers are coming down saying that, you know, these boxes of ticks are falling down. Like, this has never been like this before. Just this year they're talking about it because of weather, but it's videos of people finding like boxes of these freaking bioengineered ticks right under siege. They're currently taking over the country, they're moving across whole states at a rapid rate. Nothing moves that fast but like weather. Clouds move that fast, you know. You can see the rain clouds come through from the ocean on the west coast and move its way on into inland, and that's the only thing that moved that dang go fast. I'm gonna go back to the beginning of the video because it showed how much of the country is affected with this. Now, it's giving people Lyme disease, which is apparently terrible for you. I've heard of it, I've seen commercials about it, but I've never like heard anybody who actually had it. Some old white lady maybe or something like that. That's the only people I've ever heard that had Lyme disease. But let me see what he said, what he talking about it.
Investing in the solutions for it are also pushing the agenda to eat lab-made and plant-based meat, which are miserably failing. We also know about Lyme disease, another devastating tick-borne illness, and its relationship to bioengineering Lab 257 on Plum Island, just 9 miles away from Lyme, Connecticut. Now, I don't know about you, but it's interesting that as thousands of people are healing and feeling better incorporating red meat back into their diet, there just so happens happens to be this exploding population of ticks that could forever prevent you from eating it.
We can use human engineering to make it the case that we're intolerant to certain kinds of meat, to certain kinds of bovine protein.
Why would you do such a thing? Why? Why? This dude look evil. Well, let's see what he about to talk about. He don't look evil, but he looks like one of those docile nerd guys that's, you know, he believes everything that he's saying, I'll tell you that.
And there's actually analogs of this in life. There's this thing called the long-star tick, where if it bites you, you will become allergic to meat.
If you live in these parts of the country, which is practically half of the...
So this is the thing that I'm telling you about. It started down here, right? When I first saw it months back, it was down here. Now just a few months later, are you kidding me? That's unnatural. That's unnatural. Then he showed the lab where they're engineering this stuff. And I don't know how they found out about that. Well, I'm gonna have to look into that. But I'm gonna let him run it back real quick.
US, you should start taping up your legs like this guy every time you go outside. There's this tiny little bug called the Lone Star tick causing massive problems. A single bite from this guy reprograms your entire immune system, causing alpha-gal syndrome, which makes you allergic to red meat, and it can be life-threatening. Now, what's crazy to me is that these ticks have apparently been around for over 200 years, but there was no recorded cases of alpha-gal syndrome until just about 20 years ago, and now we're seeing a 100-fold increase in cases. The official explanation is that these ticks are spreading because of climate shifts and growing deer populations, but I find it awfully ironic that the same people pushing the global warming agenda while simultaneously investing in the solutions for it are also pushing the agenda to eat lab-made and plant-based meat, which are miserably failing. We also know about Lyme disease, another devastating tick-borne illness, and its relationship to Bioengineering Lab 257 on Plum Island, just 9 miles away from Lyme, Connecticut. Now, I don't know about you, but it's interesting that as thousands of people are healing and feeling better incorporating red meat back into their diet, there just so happens to be this exploding population of ticks that could forever prevent you from eating it.
We can use human engineering to make it the case that we're intolerant to certain kinds of meat, to certain kinds of bovine proteins. And there's actually analogs of this in life. There's this thing called the long-star tick, where if it bites you, you will become allergic to meat.
Okay. How about this? Open your eyes, people. Let's start to look into these things. By the way, watch out for, what you're eating and consuming too. We gotta normalize reading labels. When the first ingredient is hydrochlorglyceride or something, I don't freaking know, I just make that up, but we don't need to be consuming it. Your body don't even know what to do with this stuff. It looks at it as foreign, it's freaking attacking it. You overworking the liver, you overworking the kidneys, you overworking your microbiomes, your good microbiomes and the gut health and all of this stuff, man. And it's just terrible for you, so we need to figure out natural. They make it hard though to eat natural. It's very expensive. They lie, even the organic stuff is not really organic. It's like you gotta grow your own food. In certain states they make it illegal to grow your own food. I've seen in Oregon, they've made it illegal to freaking catch your own water. When it rains on your property, dudes are having big tubes just catching the water, and they're not really drinking it. They just like keeping it so they can water their plants more efficiently, when it's not raining and stuff like that. And state comes to shut it down. It's illegal to own your water. They say that's the state's water, even though it falls on your property. Now, I was always taught if something falls on your property, you shoot a bird, pow, out the sky, and it falls on that man's property. You really can't go on that man's property and get that bird. That's his bird now. Thanks for hunting for it. For me, get off my property. Once that deer is on somebody else's property, you can shoot it from off of that property, but you can't go onto that man's property to go get it. He can come on there and say, get off my property and take your kill. That's how property's supposed to work. So when did it start to work? When rain falls down. It falls on your property, but it's the state's rain. I thought this was everybody's reign. I thought this was God's reign. Now back to the ticks. I know it sounds crazy. I know all of this sounds crazy, but I'm going to keep drilling you with the information because it's out here and it's spreading like a plague. Let's stay woke, people. Let's keep an eye out for it. Keep a watchful eye. This stuff is prophecy. They're actively trying to keep us in a sickly state and put us on synthetic meds, make money off of us, use us till they can't no more, burn us out, we get old. Retirement age, by the way, just got moved up to like 78 now. Are people even living to 80, you know, in this world? 80, 83. If you was to live to 83, you got, if you was to live to 80, just keep round numbers. If you was to live to 80, they work you like a slave for your whole life. And then you got 10 years to live it off of the little bit that you've acquired and was able to keep, if you were able to keep any. Anyway, catch me on the next one because I'm about to hit you with like 10 of these. So, talking your ears off. It's your boy, Mr. Israelite, and that's Israelite.